What shears are in these cases? I'm Bonnie McGowan, and I've been asked to sharpen these shears today. I was at a cosmetology school yesterday up in the North Georgia mountains, enjoying the drive. And this woman came by frantic, had drove all the way here to go an hour and a half, not as far away as we were, and said, I need Bonnie to sharpen my shears. I need them done right away. And Misty says, well, Ricky's here. He can do it. She said, no, it's got to be Bonnie. Well, so Misty loaned her a pair of shears, and here they are. And I think they're Grooming Shears. Who is this person? I should recognize the names, and she wants just me. But all right, let's see what we have here. I need to unpack all my tools because I had them packed away in my case for the school. I'll fast forward through that so you can watch me set up. You see my rolling case here. Everybody that comes for training, and that's what I do, is I train people to sharpen shears, and most of the shears now that come in, frankly, Ricky sharpens them, but I had to pack up everything to take to school yesterday. So let's unpack this. You'll see my machine. And what I was fixing to say is the people that come for training, they always say, oh, that machine is so much smaller than I thought it would be. And maybe this time you can see on camera just how small it is. It's about the weight and size of a bowling ball. So I'm going to speed through this as I set everything on this counter. Ta-da! I'm ready to see what's in here. I hope they're not too bad. I guess since she likes my sharpening, maybe I sharpen them last, and that means they'll be easy. Or maybe someone else sharpened them last, and they're messed up, and I've got to work on them. Okay. So, yeah, we got to replace some finger rests here. Are all her finger rests gone? So this was, there's a bunch of them here. Mostly curved. I had a feeling. Put these back in here. So this one is, it says made in Japan. I'm not sure if I recognize the logo on it. That's one of ours. That's whatever that other one was. That's one of ours. We had a nice set. We called on the Fire and the Ice. And it was a curved, yeah, this is the ice. It was a curved shear set. So, and there's two more in here. Man, she likes the curved shears. This is a Foxy Roxy. And another one of those ice, Benica Ice. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 curved shears and 2 straight shears, all grooming shears. So lots of grooming shears that I'm sharpening today. Life would be a lot simpler if it was all hairstylist shears and student shears, and these are some of the most difficult ones to sharpen, but we'll get through them together today. I'm going to start with the easy ones, the straight ones. And I'm not sure if I'm going to have you sit through all of these. It's got a lot of nicks in it. Yeah, this is the worst one of the two. So I'll do this one, and then I'll do a curved one. And if you want to see more or learn more, we do sharpening training here, group training, Sharpeners Jam. Lots of videos. I have Patreon that has another 50 some odd videos. It's not on our regular channel. And I think you'll get a lot of benefit by them. I love to teach. And that's what I'll do as I'm sharpening these. So the first thing I do is I felt with my fingernail, there's a lot of nicks on here. It cuts, but I had to use some extra pressure. Excuse me. I don't think it would cut wet. Now, cutting tissue. Only thing this tells you if all the nicks are gone and all the burrs are gone. And we know this one's got nicks, so it's probably not going to cut wet tissue. And you see it doesn't. It tears. So we want it when we're done, not only to cut wet tissue, I want it to cut through some fur and just cut through it beautifully. Not hair, fur. That has a different feel to it. So let's take this apart, clean it. And I have a process that I use to sharpen shears, or a recipe that, oh, you know what? This one has a different type of screw, and I want to show this screw. So I'm going to make a short out of this portion, spring screws. So this screw looks normal, looks ordinary. But if you open this up, come on, boing! Look at there, that spring. And that spring can jump up and go anywhere. And I don't have a replacement spring. Now, can you put this back together without the spring, and will it work? Well, let's try it out. Okay, with the spring gone, I can still adjust it. So if you lose a spring, it's better to have not lost it, but just put it back together without the spring. And try not to drop any pieces on the floor. And I'm going to call this the leaf spring with a boingy spring. The boing leaf spring screw, because I like to give them all names. So the boing leaf spring shear screw. And let's see what the back side looks like. Oh, this has a ball bearing washer. So when you get one of these, if you're new to taking these shears apart and you don't see a washer in there, you may have a ball bearing washer, which sometimes will stay in the shear, sometimes it'll come out with a peg. But make sure when you put it together, this square peg still goes into the round hole. And that's the Boing leaf spring screw. That was almost like a commercial. Okay, we're back to the rest of our story. But I will put that as a short so I can put it in my playlist for weird screws I've known. And if you come across a weird screw, just think about what kind of name would Bonnie give it. And then do a search under Bonica Shears for that name of that screw that you think Bonnie would give it, and then you should be able to find it. Or just watch the whole playlist, Weird Screws I've Known. Okay, I've cleaned off the shears, I've taken them apart, I tested them first. If it needed a finger rest, which this one doesn't, I might put a little bit of glue on that finger rest, because it looks like she has a propensity for losing finger rest. And I'm using nail glue. And this is one of those weird shears that not only has a weird screw, but there's two places you can screw your finger rest into, and I'm taking this lower one, which is where I found it. So I'm going to color in my rod line with my marker. If you're here for training, we do a little bit more coloring than this, but this is it just speeds up my work. This is a Waterstone 2000 grit. Starting to show some wear here. This is Nagura stone that creates this sharpening mud. It's a Japanese Waterstone. All the way up to the hilt. Now this even has like a little Teflon rod. Nice shears. I'm not sure of the make of them because I couldn't read it on there. If you know, put the comment below. So how many strokes am I doing? I don't know. 10, 15. My pressure's over the pivot. I'm trying to keep the whole blade on there. That's why I have it slanted so much. And I don't want to just immediately wipe it off because I can't really tell whether I removed that red all the way down. Little wimpy rod line, but I think it'll do. What I'm looking for is, do I have a nice shiny line all the way along the edge? The red's still there. I don't expect all the red to be gone because I'm only removing the metal that is right on the cutting edge. And I have some severe arthritis. That finger is killing me, and I'm having to push here pretty hard. This is why I prefer Ricky to do the sharpening. I think what I'm going to have to do is, if they want me to sharpen just because my arthritis is really kicking up, I might have to charge more. Alright, this is set at 45. I'm going to do a scratch test at 45. Cushion plate, because these are convex. Oh, this is my new, keep showing this. Hopefully these will come in maybe today so I can sell them. This is my purple film rather than the blue film that I've been using. And it's a ceramic coating on the film rather than the aluminum oxide. And they seem to last longer and leave less grind marks for me to have to remove. Okay, 45 looks like I'm right on the money. So I'm going to go with that. And I'm rocking. Now, this is what I wanted to point out in this video. Let me come down a little lower so you can see what I'm going to show you. This is important. So if you're doing a long shear and the tip comes beyond the center, do not touch beyond the center, because right now the grinding is going this way. If I touch beyond the center, the grinding would be going into the edge. And right here, that part doesn't know what it's doing. So when I sharpen it, this little area right here is just not going to cut right. So you want to make sure there's a little, and I don't think you can see it on the video, but maybe you can. There's a little light here, and I want to make sure I'm going to be working a section at a time. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when I come here, there's a little bit of gap right here on the edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I used to tell people count to 3, but I'm counting fast today. So I've got a burr all the way down. I can kind of carefully feel with my thumb on top if all the nicks are gone. I want to make sure it doesn't look wavy. Looks pretty good. I'm going to get in that convex shape a little bit better. You see, I'm starting a little higher, working my way down, and I'm concentrating on what's touching the wheel in this area. That looks good. These are going to be easy peasy, I think. So if you're really into shear sharpening, I want to recommend my book, Mastering Shear Sharpening. Just came out within the year. Let me put 2 things on here. Diamond spray. It's a textbook, really, for people that want to learn to sharpen. It's also a reference book for those who are already sharpening shears. We cover pretty much all of this in written form. Let me go a little faster. I'm just working down the blade. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn my little micro adjuster. I'll make sure I do it for the other blade. So I kind of rolled over the edge a little bit. See, I make mistakes too. But you'll see that you can make some mistakes and they still come out okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or we can do a slow count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The same whether you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or you're doing 1, 2, 3. Or just don't count at all. Or have a stupid song that you're singing. So I'm feeling burr all the way down. I'm not sure about the tippy tip. So you could have a little song that you sing when you get to the edge, like Mary had a little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. I wouldn't go more than that. I got a burr. So now I want to get that convex shape. So I'm going down. And it's key important that I'm not going this direction, that I'm going flat in this area on my plate. Otherwise you end up with a bumpity wavity blade. Alright, so this time I'm going to remember to adjust my micro adjuster. I'm going to move it up maybe about a degree or two. So I'm coming close to the edge, but not rolling over it. This is somewhat cosmetic. It's going to allow the hair to slide over the blade. Well, that looks pretty. So I still have a burr on the inside. I need to get that off. So I'm going back to my stone. That's gone. Now I'm going to start lower. See, it's very satisfying when you see that line there. You're like, ah, yeah, there's my burr. I knocked it off pretty. Did you notice how the burr came up better when I pulled it back on the one that I had pulled the micro adjuster than it did on this one? This one is probably going to feel just a tad sharper with my finger. It'll still cut, but you want that little crisp edge that you might not get otherwise. So I'm turning the machine down very slow. I'm leaving this adjusted for the micro adjuster. And I'm just kissing the edge. I could rock if I wanted to, but really just coming straight across there should do it. And I'm feeling if it feels smooth, and it does. An alternate to this is wipe it off on a leather belt or denim or nail buffer. I like just coming back to the machine and just doing like a little quick pull through. And if it still feels rough, which that one does, you might want to slow it down at that point. It feels pretty good. I might move my micro adjuster now. And I'm going to reassemble them. Them. Alright, so I got my peg with my ball bearing screw on it. That goes into the back of the blade, the back side. And it will go in there, even though it's trying to be contrary. There we go. Take your time. It will fit. Force is not your friend. Now the boing spring. Boing spring. Curly spring. I don't know, we may call it something else. Put in your comments below what we should call this type of spring. It probably has a name to it already. I may not have to name it. I turned this around, in case you wonder what I'm doing. I turned this around because this is actually square, so that when I put that leaf on it, it'll be lined up. And I'm going to have to hold that down while I put the nut on it. And you can see how this little spring could push out while you're doing this, so that your entire assembly goes flying across the room and rolls under a refrigerator. I think it's good that you're seeing me struggle with this. Normally I leave the shears all the way open when I'm putting the screw in, but I think this is going to be one I'm going to close it, because otherwise I can't hold it into place. It's too tight. So at this point I usually cut a paper towel I don't see one within reach. I'm just going to use my tissue. And then that way any burrs, I'll cut them off. Now I've already closed the shears as I was putting that screw in, so if there were any burrs or nicks, it would have nicked the other side. I'm going to check the adjustment. These might be a little tighter than usual because of that spring. Now let's see how they cut wet. Remember, it didn't cut wet before. And then we're going to check them on some fur. And least pressure possible. Slow catches things, fast doesn't catch. And that's not a tear, that's just the way the shears moved. So that cuts nice. Let's see how it cuts fur. I got some fur in this bottom drawer here. And this is not real fur, but it's like fake fur. And I've just least pressure possible. Just closing and making sure the whole blade cuts. And that cuts nice. So that shear is done. I have another straight shear to do, and then I'm going to do the curved shears. And that curved shear will be in another video. So you may want to subscribe and ring the bell so it'll tell you when it's ready. Also, I post these when I get them done on Patreon. So if you don't want to wait until the next one comes out, you can probably catch the next video on Patreon. Patreon, if you're not familiar with it, it's just, I go into depth a little bit more. There's some more educators besides me on shear sharpening, clipper blade sharpening, even razor sharpening, knife sharpening, what have you. And I think primarily beauty shear sharpening and dog grooming sharpening. So check out Patreon. I think you'll probably be glad you did. And those are done for today.